A common theme this past month in quantum sessions that I feel to express to right now is the concept of unifying the inner being. Setting the intention to harmonize our inner being with the essence of our soul, with the oversoul, with Source as the guide for the being. And when we set this intention to unify, it begins to naturally alter the way that we are calibrating to not self programs, not soul programs. So this clearing in the quantum field is essentially, at the most extreme way to put it, is ceasing any war or dissonance within your inner being so that there is a complete cohesion internally. When we can get some understanding when there isn't cohesion within our being because we might say something or express something and there's something that just doesn't feel sparkly, doesn't feel soul sparkly, or it doesn't feel aligned because we could be expressing something that happened to us that was an experience of contrast, something that was deeply disturbing or traumatizing or uncomfortable. And usually it's when something like that has happened in the timeline of the being, or further still at the quantum level in an alternate incarnation. Usually this is where the fracture, the split in the timeline, where the density or the dark program has entered and is still continuing in the subtle realms, the subtle bodies of the being, to play out in that person's reality through that moment of saying one thing. Like, it could be even a mantra like, I am worthy. Let's use that as an example because this is a really common one. I am worthy, and you say it to yourself, but there's not a complete connection to that statement. Maybe your solar plexus is like a bit on fire, or maybe it's just coming from like a non-humanized version of worthiness. Maybe it's coming from the template of like false beauty around, I still equate internally because of some trauma that happened to me, worthiness with how much I eat in a day or how much I do in a day. So when we, in those moments of self-soothing, if we're saying, I'm worthy of resting, I'm worthy of nourishing my body, we can start to pick up anywhere in the subtle bodies that there isn't complete cohesion in the inner being. And this then gives us a doorway into clearing that, into flooding that experience with light. This is working with it at the level of the quantum. Of course, there's a myriad of ways that you can work with these things at the level of the mind, the level of the body. But with the work that I currently do, it's a quantum experience, and usually we're getting right to the soul's root. This also then begins clearing for the family line, the ancestral line, and the collective consciousness of humanity. So there's no better or worse. We still need to combine it with the nervous system work, with the okay, I'm going to take the action steps today to show myself that I respect myself no matter how much work I do. When I take a day off, I'm going to show myself I'm still worthy by really nourishing myself when I feel to feed my body, by going to get a massage, offering myself some loving touch, and placing those things in the physical world. But let's get back to the root of the quantum thing that we can clear. So let's use this worthiness example. We're saying to ourselves, I am worthy of rest. I'm laying here and I feel this like deep dark feeling, this heaviness, like, why am I not allowing myself to rest? So then we might say to ourselves, I am worthy, or I want to feel worthiness. Sometimes even identifying what it is, we require a deeper reflection back to us. We can set the intention with Source to say, Source, please illuminate, what is this? What's going on in my field right now? How can I tend to this so that I feel more in alignment with my soul. When we clear this at the level of the quantum, this worthiness, it could have come from, for example, the example of the parents or the schooling system, or a combination of imprints. Sometimes it's a number of things, especially if it's highly charged. And we also see this as a cultural template that has been playing out for quite some time in humanity. This concept of overworking and undernourishing the soul, the spirit, through resting and rejuvenating the cells. And that's just been the culture of crazy, busy lifestyles. And repatterning and unpatterning that is, it's multifaceted. But setting the intention ultimately to cease any dissonance within your being, within the soul. This was still showing up for me in a lot of ways, even in the quantum field, through psychic attack. I still felt myself feeling really on edge after a period of time of deep attacks on my health and my finances and my relationship grids, which was all created through the inner lenses of my being and the lenses that were still clearing polluted templates and paradigms, which is a result of my past activities, my past actions, just coming back to express and to clear. In order for that to happen, I had to sit with and be with those things as they shifted and cleared in my inner lenses, so that my outer experience was no longer creating an antagonist in my life. This fear of someone going to attack me or create harm. And this also required clearing of instances where I have actually been physically attacked, not just in this life or verbally or mentally attacked, but also for me, it was linked to an alternate incarnation experience and also some ancestral things. So this was a deep cleansing, clearing of the ceasing the inner war within, because me carrying that frequency, that residual fear that wasn't even in my conscious mind of I'm under threat, automatically puts me into the victim frequency, especially when your vibration begins to amplify into other realms. If you are in the quantum field and you have that resonating, you're a beacon for that experience to draw to you. And then it snowballs until you bring it back down into the inner being, the lens inside of you, and shift and clear whatever that lens is, in order to then shift and clear your experience in the outer spheres. And it's all beautiful, the experiences of contrast that I've had, although they've been deeply, deeply disturbing at times. I don't want to dilute the fact that they were life interrupting a lot of the time. I also want to show that we need to take responsibility for those things and to cease anywhere there's dissonance within, to unify the field, to unify the self, to not give weight to the egoic structure, but let the heart be the leader, and to really unify, to come into that level of heart consciousness that is one family, one humanity, one collective, oneness with all of life. So have a feel, if you feel called to, for clearing anywhere within yourself, anywhere in your subtle bodies. Notice when you cringe, when you tense, when you find yourself running someone else's words through a critical lens, and free yourself, free the other person, by ceasing the war within and having the courage to look at those places and shine the light on them, to come home to unity as often as you feel to. Many blessings. Thank you.